board.
Okay.
Okay, I'll call to order the village board meeting Monday, May 11th at 6:30. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I got it. Got to put the brakes on these chairs. Roll call of officers.
We have Andrew Bartley, Roseanne Guy, Brian Lordy, Rose Sowers, Kevin Schiller, Dan Wolf present.
Any public comments? Here we go now. Leon, you're up.
For April, it was pretty slow. I only had one call for barking dogs. And I also got a call from somebody with more chickens.
Stop it.
Yeah, and so I went over and talked to the guy, and sure enough, he had chickens, and
What in the?
so he was gonna get rid of them.
Has he gotten rid of them yet?
Yeah, he's got rid of his.
Okay.
And then just here, about a week ago, and some more. Somebody else with chickens. So they're also in the process of getting rid of them.
No, everybody's on chicken control now.
Maybe the other person got the chickens from the first guy.
Hey, where were these people wanting the chickens when we were doing the chicken debate?
Right.
Like, none of these people showed up.
They already have them.
They were
Yeah.
like, yeah, they're like, we can't go.
Anyway, so they're all in the last one now is in the process of getting rid
Okay.
of these signing home order.
How do you have you just like, you just give them time?
I just give them usually a week or two.
Yeah.
You know, so you just can't get rid of them.
Yeah. Yeah, right. You can't just be like, here you go, chickens.
You can't just open the door and let them run.
Right, yeah, got it.
So you will follow up with that?
You
You will follow up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'll follow up on all of them.
Perfect. Okay, number 5. Approve village board meeting minutes, April 21st, 2026.
You have just to approve
Just
the
to approve
consent
consent,
agenda item?
I just didn't know if we needed to because of the joint powers.
No, you're
in there.
approving all of
Okay.
them at once.
I didn't know if we needed to discuss that anymore. Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda item.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. You guys have any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Apparently, we have no unfinished business. Thank God Brad's here. I need him to tell me how to do stuff. 7.1 Baker Tilly, presentation of 2025 audit and financial statements. You're up.
All right, well, good evening, everyone. You should have by your spots a document that looks like this. I will utilize that to go through the other 2 bound documents that you have before you tonight. Did meet with management a few weeks ago to go through draft documents, so these are issued in final format. I will go through this at a relatively high level and relatively quickly, so please feel free to stop me and ask any questions as I proceed through the information. So on the first slide, we've highlighted the objective of the audit, which is to issue an opinion, and we've done that. Included within your audited statements is a clean, unmodified opinion that is the highest level of assurance you can obtain. Same type of opinion you've received in the past. It really means that we follow generally accepted accounting principles. Disclosures that are required to be included within the statements under the standards have been, and that the information contained within the financial statements is believed to be materially accurate. I'm switching gears then and getting into some very high-level financial information. The first column I presented here is your general fund. So when we look at general fund, we look at this in comparison to budget, and there is much more detail in your audited statements. But just to hit the high points, the general fund had 1.9, almost $2 million of actual revenue, and that compares to a $1.87 million budget. So you ended the year favorably when comparing to budget within the general fund. Revenue was about $120,000 over. A couple contributing factors to that: investment income. Markets have been doing relatively well still, so investment income came in $38,000 more than budget. And then your miscellaneous revenue category came in $76,000 over budget. Included in that category is a reimbursement from Wazaki County for some parking lot work. So there's almost $52,000 in that category. You're going to see an offset in expense when we get to that point. And then ultimately some additional increase in fireworks deposits happened during the year. On the expenditure side, 1.928 million of actual, that compares to a $1.878 million budget. So expenses came in over budget by roughly $50,000. Again, a couple of reasons for that. Your general government category, where it really accounts for most of the administrative type work, clerk, treasurer, elections, that type of thing, came in $30,000 under budget. So a favorable variance reason for that. Legal came in under budget, a clerk area came in under budget, and then assessments came in under budget. So those are the largest three being under budget, the largest three categories being under budget. Public work,
Can I just interject a note about that assessment? Is that because they billed us late, it's gonna be in this year instead as an overage?
Got it.
the next category, public works, that came in over budget. Couple of reasons for that, increase in snow and ice costs. Street maintenance was $40,000 over budget. Again, keeping in mind there was some reimbursement that came through on the revenue side. And then actually the storm sewer category came in under budget. So again, lots of ebbing and flowing throughout the year, but nothing of a significant nature. Capital outlay was another area of overage, $47,000 over budget. Again, the parks parking lot came in $25,000 over. Street costs were $22,000 over, and then the tennis court resurfacings were $12,000. So overall, when you put together your 2025 budget, you budgeted to break even essentially. You budgeted to use a little bit of fund balance, a couple $1,000s. You ultimately added $60,000 to fund balance. So a very positive end result compared to what you had expected to happen. When you look at the ending fund balance, you had $775,000 of fund balance in your general fund. As presented on the handout, there's 4 categories to that. So 12,000 of that is non-spendable, that's prepaid. So you've already paid a bill, but you'll recognize the expense in 26. So that we pull up because the cash is gone. There's another 108,000, which is restricted. These are stormwater fees. So these are restricted for a particular purpose. So we pull that piece out. You used, again, a small amount of fund balance to balance your 26 budget, roughly $1,300, so we pull that out. And then the remaining portion there is your unassigned category of $653,000. That's roughly 38.9% of your operating budget, so a very strong financial position, allows you some flexibility when needing to do some additional work for contingencies, working capital, things of that nature. The next column that I presented is the debt service fund, $587,000 of revenue, which is in the form of taxes, $587,000 of expenses, that's principal and interest on village debt. Had 0 fund balance at the end of the year, and this is not unusual or unexpected for a debt service fund. You levy the tax, you pay the P&I, you don't accumulate fund balance unless you have some unique situation. The last governmental fund that I presented here is the capital project fund, $253,000 of revenue. Most of that comes in from the general fund. So 205,000 of that comes in for future project costs. There was donations for the pickleball court. That was approximately $20,000. And then the remaining 17,000, is investment income. So again, a good allocation there. That fund during 25 spent $709,000. That was on the street sweeper, a fire truck, and the chipper, and some street projects. So used $456,000 of fund balance and had $121,000 as of the end of the year. And again, those monies are assigned for future capital projects or capital equipment. On the next page, this is the remaining 2 funds of the village. This is your water and sewer utilities. When we look at these follow a different accounting methodology, so we look at these a little bit different. So water utility had revenue of $725,000. That was up about $28,000 over the previous year. Keep in mind that during 25, early in 25, you had a rate increase. So that went in effect roughly March 15th. So you saw some of the benefits of those additional rates. Expenses were $635,000. Those were up $55,000 over the previous year, and really a couple different reasons. One, you had to refund some impact fees that you didn't spend. So that was roughly 13,000. You also had some additional equipment maintenance costs and vehicle repairs costs, both of those coming in about $10,000 over the previous year. So overall, the water utility added 90,000 to its net position. It used $435,000 of cash during 25, leaving it at the end of the year with 726,000 of cash. Just a reminder that you borrowed in 26 to replenish that for the water main project. So again, you use some cash on hand, you're replenishing it in 26 with the borrowing. So although you used it, it will be replenished. The last column then is the sewer utility. Slightly over $1 million of revenue. That's pretty consistent with previous years. Expenses were $690,000. Those are up $31,000 over the previous year. Again, there was some increase in labor costs as projects are done. Obviously, labor is allocated with that. Also had some additional maintenance on the pumping equipment and the collection system and plant, and those costs are up $16,000 over the previous year. Again, sewer utility added to net position, similar to water, of $329,000. That's relatively consistent with the previous year. In 24, $382,000 was added. So the sewer utility ended the year at 5.9 million of net position. They used roughly $143,000 of cash and ended the year at 1.3 million of cash. Roughly half of that is restricted those for the equipment replacement fund, which is a requirement of the DNR. So overall, relatively very positive results in the various funds of the village. The last item that I've noted there is reporting and insights. That's the other document that you received. It's got more of a solid green cover. And that document we use to really just communicate with those charged with governance, so meaning management and the board. Just a couple items to highlight, and they're very similar to what you've seen in the past, not anything really new that I need to draw your attention to. We still have material weaknesses in the internal control environment, just from a segregation of duties standpoint, not having as many people on staff to be able to achieve complete segregation, and that is not unusual. Obviously, the cost benefit of doing that is not typically applicable. Internal controls over financial reporting. We do continue to prepare the village's financial statements, so we become part of your internal control. But I'm very happy to say that Vicki has made great progress. There were no material journal entries found as part of the audit process, so that is no longer an item that is communicated in there. Worked really hard over the last year, so thank you. That makes everyone's job a lot easier. Also included in that report is two-way communication. It's the very last 2 pages of that document and really solicits your thoughts and comments for the 26 audit. Some other comments that are included within there, there's always a year where there's new governmental accounting standards or GASBs that are effective. 103 through 105 are included in there. 103 will have impact on the village. It will have impact on almost every governmental entity. And we'll work with Vicki to make sure that the village is in a place to implement that. It will not change how you look at your organization, how your numbers look. It will just be changes in terminology, changes in content. So really more kind of the infrastructure of the report, not the numbers of the report. And then lastly, included in that document is a section that is required communication. That is things that we, under our standards, have to communicate with you. We choose to put those in writing. Again, nothing unusual included in there. The only thing I would highlight is that section does include various estimates that are included within the village's financials, those being pension, depreciation, which is an estimate, and then the accounting for leases. So again, we just draw those to your attention, but we do review all of that as part of the audit process and believe it to be materially accurate in its content. Last thing that I have included my direct line and my email. Go through this very quickly. I'm happy to talk with any of you about any questions you might have about our process, what we do, what we don't do, the booklets, the presentation, anything. So feel free to reach out at your convenience. I'm happy to have those discussions, but I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have now.
Overall, everything looks good. There's nothing that stood out.
Nope.
And then for like future capital projects or planning is in accordance. Excellent.
Yep, the money's being set aside, you're spending it, you're accumulating it. Again, you did the borrowing in '26 to help replenish what you used out of the water cash. So again, yes, everything is moving in the direction you'd expect it to.
Excellent.
And thank you, Vicki,
Yes.
for everything that you do.
Good job, Victoria.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Wendy.
Okay, discussion and possible action regarding Cedar Grove Belgium School District requesting that the Rocket Academy located at 255 Lakeview Drive serves approximately 40 junior and seniors to use the village hall as a family assistance center in the event of an emergency.
So as I understand this, as schools, as a part of their safety, have to have a staging area for, like, let's say there were an active shooter
Right.
situation, a place they can send the parents.
Yep.
And a place that the kids can travel to by foot, to get, and so they need a place nearby
Got
Rocket Academy. So,
Yep.
you know, they would like to have Village Hall be that place.
think that
And
makes
the staff
total
has no
sense.
Yeah.
concerns with that at all.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve Cedar Grove Belgium School District Rocket Academy to use the village hall as a family assistance center
I'll
in the
second.
event of an emergency.
I will second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Do you guys want to discuss it?
No.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passed. 7.3, consideration and possible action on employee reimbursement request for gas expenses incurred for conference travel due to unavailability of the village vehicle. Where was the village vehicle?
So, this is an unusual situation, but Teresa and I went to two different conferences. So I was at one conference, I had the village car, she had a one-day conference that she attended that she had to drive to. It was a fairly significant drive,
Yeah.
but didn't have, and with gas prices, you know.
Yeah.
It does in the handbook allow for the board to approve mileage reimbursement. She is not asking for mileage, which would be a lot more. She's just asking for reimbursement of her gas for that day, which was
And there's no receipt is here.
like 35 of them.
No, 5801.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mileage would come up to be a lot more than
Yeah.
that, but, so she is asking that you allow her to be reimbursed for that because she did not have the option of using the car.
I make a motion
Hold on.
that,
Due to my relationship with the clerk, I will recuse myself from the vote.
Kind of relationship you got.
Well-
All right.
Do I have
I
to read
will
the
make the
table?
motion that the board approve the reimbursement to the town clerk the village clerk. What am I saying? Oh,
Where are you?
Village clerk for the travel.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Do you want to discuss it? All in favor, say aye, except for you. Aye. Opposed, motion passed. Give her $58.01, please.
She overpumped.
She overpumped that 1 penny. 7.4, discussion and action to approve ordinance number 7-26 to amend 225-1B to remove inconsistent language in the section that was included in the adoption of ordinance number 02-26.
So, Matt, Greeley from McMahon, our engineer, in reviewing it, noticed that there was, some phrasing that, wasn't really consistent with our processes and, recommended this change. So it's a very minor little, 2-word change there.
Housekeeping.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just changing it from the
Just
main, from the property line.
Got it.
Make a motion to amend, to remove inconsistent language in the section that was included in the adoption of ordinance number 02-26.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Would we like to discuss it? Okay, good. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passed. 7.5. Discussion and possible action to approve ordinance number 08-26 to repeal ordinance number 03-26 adopted on April 13th, 2026 and to create the amendments to section 231, article 3, mandatory recycling to correct a duplicated ordinance number error. What?
So we had, Teresa and I had both created amendments, and somehow we missed that we numbered them the same. So this is the one that you guys did a couple meetings ago,
Yes.
the recycling one. It was very much just a requirement of the state.
Yeah,
And so we need to renumber it.
got it. Okay, I'll make a motion to renumber stuff. Whatever, I'm not going through that again.
Mhm.
As stated on the agenda.
As stated on the agenda. And this is why I need him.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We passed it. 7.6. Discussion and possible action on special assessment options for private sanitary laterals replaced during 2026 utility and road construction project for East Lane, West Lane, Antoine Drive, and Hook Street.
So we will be having our public meeting for this, and we do need to provide the financing options.
Okay,
The options that I am recommending are payment in full before November 1st of this year with no interest charge, payment of the full amount on their 2027 tax bill with no interest. Now, the reason for that delay is because, and we did this also with the North Avenue elevator, all of those, because how close it's falling to the tax roll season by the end, we have a risk that we won't be able to make certain statutory deadlines. So also because, you know,
Right.
you're asking people within a couple months to come
To
up with a
come up
large
with a-
amount of money.
yeah.
This gives them a little bit more time to plan for that payment. And then third is an installment plan. They have 5 years starting with 2027 at an interest rate to be charged at X percentage annually. Staff talked, the recommendation that we came up for the interest rate, in the past, we've always charged whatever we did for the loan. But we're not going out for loan on the laterals right now. We have plenty of cash
Right.
on hand. So the suggestion of the staff is 1%. That's the rate we charge for our utilities. We aren't, you know,
If they come late with a payment, you get charged 1%.
right.
right. So that was our thought. And I
And now
will,
this is,
I
if-
will point out to the board that I am biased on this because I'm going to be one of those people. So
oh, that's fine.
bear that in mind.
One, this is if the village does it, right? Or whatever.
No, see, how we're doing that project, we did this in the past, you know, the village is responsible from the main to the property, to the curb stop.
Right.
And the right way, and the homeowners are responsible from the point to the house.
Got it.
Yeah.
So they're the ones who pay for that part.
Okay.
They can use a village contractor.
That's what
to
I'm
do it.
meaning. So if they're gonna use the village contractor, that's where this comes into
Yes.
play.
Correct.
Otherwise, they have to get their own and then
And the
who
village-
cares, whatever.
Right, they would
don't
not
pay.
be able to finance it if they go out on
Right,
their own.
but this
That's
is through the village.
correct. through the
Okay,
village
that's what I was
contract.
getting at. Okay,
So, we do need to have these payment options approved by the board and so that we can provide them to the homeowners.
I mean, I feel they're
Do
good
they
on
have
it.
a deadline that they gotta commit to some of it?
Yeah, they gotta, we're gonna meet with all the homeowners, we go in there, we give them an estimate and everything, and they gotta decide if they wanna do it,
Option 1, 2, or 3.
Option 1, 2, 3.
then we give them 60 days. After 60 days, they gotta,
Make a decision.
well, they gotta do it within, you know.
Oh, got
let's
it,
say,
got it.
Rosie, we tell you by June 1st, you gotta hook up your sewer lateral, you get 60 days to get it done, if not,
We're gonna do it.
So what happened last time is that when they have their final meeting and they're given their final documents that they have to sign off on, and then they'll have a final bill come through, and at that point, they can choose which payment method. If they choose to do the installment plan, they can pay it off at any point. We had a very high percentage in the last project that actually paid in advance or right off the bat.
Right.
So we have only, right now, I believe there are only 3 that are still on the installment plan, and this is the final year. So most of them paid it off early.
And how many households are we talking about being affected by
Um,
29.
29?
Not all, and not all of them will have laterals though, or is they all, 29 that have laterals, I think it's 31 or something. There's a few more on the,
Oh, I think there's 49.
weren't there some that don't have to do laterals?
That's with the 29, there's 29 homes.
If they-
Okay. Okay,
And there's 2 of them that don't have to.
Yeah. so it's not a huge
Type
number of
ready.
people.
So they're kind of like already, they already did it, or it was already done. Right, got it.
What was
Okay.
the average cost
Yeah.
of one on North Street?
I would say around 5,000. I believe that McMahon is estimating that this project's gonna probably be more of an average of at least 6. It's,
Six. I would
you know, the
between
cost
6
is
to 8.
high.
Reason why this is higher, well, the cost is up higher. And on these 2 streets, like East Lane and West Lane, the sewer on the, people on the east side of their home on the road, the sewer is a lot longer because the hoses are set further back. So they're gonna have a bigger.
The bigger bill.
Versus the ones on the west side, because the houses are closer to the sewer, closer to the road.
So $5,000 just to hook that up?
But, well, I'm saying between 6 and 8. The costs are $2,000 more. If you go through the bid, you know, what we got bidded out,
Oh,
just to hook it up is, 5 years ago it was $2,500, now it's $4,500.
Well,
And-
yeah, that's a sanitary one, the
Yeah.
sleeving. The sleeving, yeah, correct. But what about if we gotta hook in a downspout sump pump?
That's on the homeowner.
And
We're gonna provide
We
them a
don't
storm lateral.
finance that.
we don't, we
option.
even finance.
We don't, and our
No.
contractor does not do
What
that.
happens if they don't do it and we gotta do it then?
Well, then we
Well,
go.
then we would build
Oh,
them.
then same, okay.
I mean, certainly as the costs go up, the board, I mean, I know there are some villages that do offer longer terms if it's over a certain dollar amount, but I don't know that we need to do that. I think 5 years is pretty reasonable, even at that, even at the rates that it's gonna come in.
How long ago were they informed of this? I'm just.
Well,
Well,
we're having a meeting next week, Monday, to, we
They
sent the
were
letters
sent-
out already.
Okay, that's, okay.
There was one meeting already, and all of the properties on it were sent the initial information and invited to a meeting. It was just an introductory meeting, but it did make sure they were all aware that this was coming.
Did anybody attend that meeting?
I think we had 7 residents.
Yeah, a few.
But yeah,
So I hope they come to this one, because then they're gonna find out, you know, when construction starts, you know.
what they're gonna owe,
They, you know, they have a form, you can look at the form, you know, there's a breakdown, you know, what a lateral costs, if you have a 4-inch lateral, if you have a 6-inch lateral.
Yeah.
If you do an outside excavation or inside excavation, all that is all broken down. And then when we do our inspections with these homeowners, they can choose what they want, so technically, it's really in their ballpark to get whatever they wanna do, I mean.
So there's some 6-inch sewers that run out?
The 3 options on previous projects, is that what was given?
Yeah, this is almost the exact same options as the last project.
Okay.
The only difference being the interest, the last one, it was because interest rates were crazy low, was I think 0.77% or something ridiculous like that. So this is a slightly higher interest rate, but not by much.
We
And you
started
guys
this
approved
probably in
1%.
2005 or 8, you know, when we started replacing sanitary sewer and laterals.
Just,
And we follow the same pattern like that.
With everything,
Back then,
yeah.
we did Main Street like that, we did South Avenue, Maple Street. I mean, we did a lot of roads.
Yeah.
And it shows us at the treatment plant that we're taking all the I and I out. I mean, that's the biggest goal
Right.
this year.
on previous projects, what was the breakdown of roughly by percentage of who picked which option?
You know, I think on the last one, I want to say somewhere around half of them paid in full. And then of the ones that were left, there were quite a few that paid them off early. Or in cases of houses selling, it was settled during closing and things like that.
And I think we had 4 or 5 that choose to do it on their own, so they got their own contractor. But if they do it on their own, we gotta check the connections in the basement and.
you're still gonna like inspect it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and, you know, the contractor will run the new sewer lateral up to the right of way line.
Right,
And then when they hook onto that, we make it, you know, we inspect it.
So then it's all PVC, it's not sleeve.
Yeah.
And worst case scenario, let's say everybody financed it. Our estimate right now for the private laterals, if we did all of them, was about 150,000,
Okay.
which our fund balance can absolutely handle carrying that for 5 years if we needed to.
That was
That
my
is
next question.
not going to be a problem.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve those three payment options.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Oh, with the interest rate as 1%.
Yes, thank you.
Sorry.
And
Good, I even caught,
I'll second that.
so good. Do you guys want to discuss it? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion passed. 7-7. Discussion and possible action on seal coating proposed located at 339 South Lawrence Street and 106 Beach Street. What?
So we had, seal coating in the budget for down by the park, community park and Lake Hills Park.
Yeah.
So we had two estimates, one from NR Asphalt and one from JR Belkey.
Which one?
What are you recommending?
Well, I'm recommending NR Asphalt. I mean, they're a little bit more. The reason I'm recommending, I heard that JR, I don't know these, we had some work done with JR that's a number of years ago. And, I just talked to someone 2 weeks ago and said that their community wasn't happy with them. I don't know what, what was going on. So we've been using NR Asphalt for,
A lot of things.
whenever we had any seal coating done, we used.
I know that
NR
company
Asphalt.
very well. It's a
I
very
mean,
good
they're a
company.
top, they're well known, they go all over.
And that's striping it too? So it's.
No.
That's not striping it?
Do we
So
get it
the-
straight?
The one quote had striping, right?
Yeah, but he didn't, I don't think he quoted it right, because, I mean, I had another quote for striping. The company had striping was JR Belkey,
Right.
and he just put, was it $650? But he didn't show me a diagram, how many stalls he was gonna do, and,
Oh, do you want me to pull up the JR?
Yeah, he had 650 for striping, and that was,
and he had that under, I think, Lake Hills Park, and that's not the one that I wanted striped, I wanted
Community park,
community park. The
right?
reason why we wanted to strike community park is last year, when there were functions going on in that park, right now the cars park east and
Oh my
west,
gosh.
and then some people were going to Longbury versus east and west, and
Or they
They-
try to park 3.
then you gotta go locate the people in the crowd to get their cars moved, because
Yeah.
you're just screwing everything up there.
Yeah.
So we thought, well, this year maybe we should strike it, and it's done.
Yeah,
Community park by the tennis courts.
yeah.
Was the Heritage Park, is that striped?
Well, no, we're thinking of doing it too, but
Everybody seems to find their way there.
yeah,
Everyone seems
it's a
to
wider
find their way.
parking lot,
Yeah.
you
They
know.
can get away, they find
I
their
feel like
way.
Heritage Park, they know what they're doing. At the community park, nobody knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
and
They
ours,
just do what they want.
and ours is cheaper.
Huh?
Yeah,
And ours is cheaper. You said they were higher. So community park is 4,900. And that, the other company, it was like 7,000 something.
Yeah, but if you look in JR's, he quoted two different types of material. So if you go to sheet one of JR, that one number is like 3768, and then the next number is 3982. So if you add them two together, you're gonna get to
Oh.
77. But we were only using one of these two choices.
right.
You follow me?
Kind of,
So
trying to figure out why.
he just, everybody, when they go out for bid, there's a lot of contractors, when you tell them price everything out, you know what you want, they add everything in the total bottom line. So if you just look at the total bottom line, you don't know what you gotta really look into it.
Right.
What are you planning on doing for striping then?
Well, there's another quote coming later on in the agenda about striping.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the bid for NR Asphalt to seal coat the proposals for Lanar Street and 106 Beach Street.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Do we have any discussion?
And these are budgeted expenses.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. 7.8, discussion and possible action regarding painting and striping outside of well number 2.
So here, this is, the quote up there, Bruce Street. Striping, that's the quote for community park.
Got it.
There's, I think there's 51 stalls that he can have in there. I mean, they're all spaced out like the DOT recommends. You gotta, so many handicap spaces you gotta have for so many parkings. We got that covered.
Yep. Handicap stand, so what? They don't just freehand it? Just kidding. Not artists anymore.
We just thought we'd stripe it because last year there was how many times in the park we had to go chase people down. And
Yeah, it's crazy. It's, yeah.
It looks nicer.
looks that you can
Looks
park.
Yeah, then
So
people
you know
know
where
what
to
they're
park.
doing, yeah.
Right now,
Now it's a crapshoot. Nobody knows what
Patch
park.
it or asphalt over
Yes.
asphalt.
and then this would be under the maintenance of the park budget.
Danny, what's that, handwritten, $1,226.40? It's on the bottom of the copy I
Oh,
have at least.
I had asked, by the tennis court there in pickleball, we have a fence there. Prior to when we blacktop, there was like a green space, like maybe 5 or 6 feet. Now we took that out, now we got blacktop all the way to the fence. And I asked him if he could put a straight line so the cars don't pull tight against up to the
Right.
fence. That there's a walking space to get out of the car if people wanna go in
Right.
to play tennis. And he didn't add that in the bid, so when he came out and we looked over the bid and I asked him to add that in.
Okay.
So it's like $50 or something, right? 60.
Yeah, and is it the 1226.40 is the final?
Thanks, Meaner. I was waiting for you to do my math for me, please. $72. Got a mathematician here.
So just to be clear, this is for community park and the well?
No, just me. Then, I just noticed that tonight when I was looking at the agenda, because there's a quote here to paint the buildings outside by well number 2.
Okay.
I don't know if we can act like that.
Well, they're both on the agenda, so I don't see why we can't. The other quote is not, the ACE.
Yeah.
Oh, they are both here. I just didn't scroll far enough.
So there's
This
two
is
different
the-
places, so.
So the ACE quote is a different
Yeah,
property.
different topic.
Got it. And you're looking for both of those?
Correct, well, we can do the striping first, I would think, and then. do
But it's the same company, right?
No,
Oh, it's
two
two
different
different companies.
companies.
Got it.
So the only
Oh,
thing
Brew
with
City and
regard
Ace.
to
I was
the,
thinking it was Brew City and Ace as one company. I'm an idiot.
so the only thing with regard to the well house is that because we have already, reached our budget limit, this would be coming out of fund balance in the water fund for painting the building.
And the reason why we have to paint building, or we should, our reservoir, I don't know if you know where the reservoir is, it's just on the west side of the pump house when you go out of town. It's a separate building, and we're getting a lot of cracks. So we're gonna hire someone to patch the cracks, and then we gotta paint that. And then we had to do some hatch work to crawl into the reservoir. All that concrete was corroding away or musting away from the chlorine and everything. So we had Interstate Salt come and cut probably 8 inches off that, and then we mounted the hatch. And we have to paint the building anyway, so it needs it, so.
Make it look nice.
Well, the inside is nice, I mean, we get everything all done inside, the doors are
We'll do
in.
the outside.
You power wash your tank out, did you say?
Yeah, we were in there, we probably took, we have to clean the reservoirs out every 5 years, but this was 3, but we took probably a backhoe bucket of sand that was, for the last 10 years.
How'd you get that out?
A rope and a pail.
Oh, old school stuff going on.
It wasn't so bad this time, the other time, probably 20 years ago, we bought a crane because there was probably 4 backhoe buckets full of sand in there.
Oh,
We leveled
my.
for almost a week in there.
Gross.
Well, way to keep up on it.
Yeah, keep up, it ain't so bad.
Like 20 foot hole, you pull a bucket of sand up by hand,
It'd go
The
faster
vac
if you
truck
get a
couldn't
bigger
get
bucket.
on.
Yeah, get a bigger
He
bucket.
never
Huh?
does.
Bigger bucket, next time it'll go faster.
Yeah.
Using a little kid sandbag.
Well, since there's not a separate agenda item for these, I make the motion that the board approve the quote for Brew City Precision Striping for the parking lot project and the approve Ace Professional Painting for the well project.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Do we want to discuss it anymore? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Thank you for everything.
Do I have to read this all, or can I just make a motion to convene?
We should read that. actually.
Okay.
Closed
Thank,
session.
this
Yeah.
is why I have him. This is why we made a mistake about. Motion to convene, make a motion to convene in closed session pursuant to 19.85(1)(e) Wisconsin statute for the purpose of deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business. Whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session, to wit, to deliberate and develop negotiating strategy for and discuss possible terms and conditions of a developer agreement with Ansay Development Corp. and assigns for the Quincy Street subdivision project located at 420 Park Street. That's a lot. Somebody's got to second my motion.
I'll second.
It'll be a roll call vote. for
Oh, yeah,
closed
that's
session.
right, see?
Yes.
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 Yes,
Yes.
okay,
I will be ending the stream now.
thank you.